Hello and welcome to Retronator Pixel Art News for September. Today we're gonna look at upcoming and newly released games. We're gonna have a special feature on comics, and today's theme in the do-it-yourself section is dithering. Welcome to Pixel Art Academy. Oh, it's not Pixel Art Academy. You see, I already fucked up. Hello and welcome everyone. How are you doing? I'm Matejan, also known as Retro, also known as to my friends Redbeard. How do you like my t-shirt today? It's a Nintendo homage by Game & Graphics. Oh look, there's an SNES there. But first, we're gonna go look at some world news. Today we bring you news from the world of pixel art in a segment I call the War of the Pixel. On one side we have the pure blood pixels, and on the other side the new progressive liberal piece of transparent shading gradient stuff. The latest attack of the non-pixel art elements, as they call them, has happened on Reddit. On the Reddit continent, the nation of r/pixel art has been invaded by non-pixel art. Newcomers use things that are called dirty tools, such as gradients and drop shadows and reflections. These newcomers are coming from more liberal parts as Twitter and DeviantArt, where pretty much anything can be posted into the pixel art section. And on the other hand, we have more conservative places like PixelJoint that have defined what NPA means in the first place. The more conservative citizens have pushed back, asking if there are any regulations in place to decide which kind of pixels are going to be allowed entry into the country and which one not. Only one member of the government showed up to the discussion, saying that our pixel art should be only for pure blood pixel art. Pure bloods like in the Harry Potter. But past discussions have shown that the opinions on this matter are very mixed, and so as he is one of the new representatives of the government, he has no power to instill something like that. And just like that, we have one more discussion about what is pixel art and what should we show and what not, and nothing really changed. So we're gonna just move on to lighter topics, particularly upcoming games. We're going to start with Omega Strike, that has the music that you've been just listening in the whole previous segment. It is a Metroidvania game with a vast open-ended world and multiplayer playable characters. In the game we're going to explore the world, learn new abilities, upgrade our weapons, and defeat Dr. Omega and his mutant armies. Omega Strike is coming out on October 4th, which is like tomorrow. Even before that, on October 3rd, we are going to get the game called Let Them Come. And I had a lot of fun playing this one at Game Developers Conference. It's an arcade game where the enemies are coming from one side and pretty much just have machine gun and upgradable weapons, and the enemies are definitely going to overwhelm you, but you will get money for new upgrades, which will enable you to survive through the next wave of enemies and keep on going, keep on going. Fun fact, the developer is another Slovenian living in North America. How cool is that? October 3rd, let it come. Remember Arduboy, the Arduino-powered gaming system the size of a credit card? Well, its developer Cameron Bates is back on Kickstarter with a game for Arduboy called Arduventure, an 8-bit RPG for your wallet. And it's this really cool pixel art, black and white adventure a la Zelda with world even bigger than Zelda. The Arduboy itself earned almost $500,000, and I'm pretty sure that Arduventure is going to be an amazing project as well. Speaking of Kickstarter, the game Power 57, which was funded 2 years ago, is going to release soon. In September we got a couple of new updates. One of them is about probes that gonna kind of follow your character around as you shoot with this twin stick shooter style thing. There's no definite release date yet, but I'm pretty confident we're getting close. The developers are mainly fixing bugs, and yeah, that's it for now. We're gonna look at more updates till next time. Last of the upcoming games, we're gonna look at Graveyard Keeper, which is supposed to come in this fall. It comes from the developers of Punch Club, and Punch Club was one of my favorite kind of grindy games, whereas Graveyard Keeper is called the most inaccurate medieval cemetery management sim. I really like the artist on the project shows work in progress stuff, so you can see how, for example, he got here from a sketch to a digital sketch to the finished pixel art assets. So I'm super excited what these guys have in order for us. The game was just showcased at PAX West, and yeah, we're gonna play it in 2017. New releases, we're gonna start with the game that we mentioned already in the previous episode. Songbringer came out, 2 positive reviews, and the developer is already all the negative stuff that the press said, like this small little negative tidbits about combat and stuff like that, he's been like day one, okay, let's go back into coding and make it better. And he's been working on it just as he was before, streaming the development, making things better, and yeah, you see the game has positive reviews. Go check it out if you haven't yet. I played it quite a lot, and it's very Zelda-ish, dungeon crawling. I love the atmosphere of the game. Songbringer is available for $20. Another game we mentioned already last time is Fugl, which came out to early access actually. It's available for Windows and Mac at $10. Yeah, it's really cool, meditative, flying around as a bird in voxel landscape, beautiful stuff. Another game in early access is Mystic Melee. Melee-o. A great evil is threatening the galaxy and only a team of arcane wizards can stop it. Master imaginative spells in this fast-paced physics platformer. Take your skills to the arena for fierce multiplayer battles. It's available for Windows only at $15, and since it's an early access game, it's just gonna get better and better and better. Thimbleweed Park is a game from March this year, so half a year old, but it finally came out on Nintendo Switch, as well as iOS. If you haven't played this amazing adventure game from the guy who invented point-and-click adventures, Ron Gilbert, you know Maniac Mansion and Monkey Island, and there's a whole bunch of cool artists on the team, like Mark Ferrari. Actually, just go read my article about the development of Thimbleweed Park and the history of all the people involved in the project. Like, look at this cool photo of Ron Gilbert and David Fox and Gary Winnick being all cool, working on Maniac Mansion. Back at the time, it was called Lucasfilm Games. Anyway, go check out Thimbleweed Park on Switch for $20 or iOS for $10. Speaking of cool adventure games, The Witch's Isle is an adventure game that takes place in a dreamlike town on a solitary island. It's very unique and artsy and all that stuff. People saying good stuff about it. It's available for Mac and Windows for only $3. It's a short thing, but people say it's totally worth those $3. An upgraded version of the game Hydorah by the very respected developer Locomalito has been released. It's called Super Hydorah. Super Hydorah is a non-linear horizontal shoot-'em-up designed to offer a challenging experience sublimating the richness of traditional shmup classics. Face the menace of the Meroptians aboard the Delta Force alone or with your friends in this game with direct action and nostalgic art. It's available for Windows only at $12. While we're on the topic of going right and fighting the bad guys, if we change spaceships for our fists, we get Fight and Rage. Fight and Rage is a brand new old-school side-scroller beat-em-up inspired by the classics from the Golden Age and with an art style that mimics the aesthetic from the 90s arcade games. This game pays homage to all classic gameplay features that makes this genre one of the best from its time. It has a lot of very positive reviews and it's available for Windows for $20. If you want to destroy even more stuff, take a look at Pixel Gladiator. In the distant future, brutal gladiatorial battles is a top-rated show extremely popular all over the universe. You've been sent to the abandoned planet as one of the participants of the show. Your goal is to survive as long as possible, fighting back deadly creatures in the focus of billions of viewers. Kinda like this, what was it called? The place, the games where they're hungry and all that stuff. It's available for Windows for only $5. If we add a little bit of exploration to the fighting, we get Metroidvanias, and A Robot Named Fight is a Metroidvania roguelike focused on exploration and item collection. Explore a different procedurally generated labyrinth each time you play, and discover randomized power-ups to traverse obstacles. Find secrets and explode meat beasts. It has a lot of very positive review, and it's developed by one guy, Matt Bittner. I like when single developers just kick ass at pixel art and code and make great games that a lot of people love. It is available for Mac and Windows at $10. Going from games like fighting and Metroidvania that everyone is making to a little bit more creative waters. When was the last time you played a pixel art real-time strategy? Well, now you can with Tooth and Tail from the wonderful developer Pocket Watch Games. Tooth and Tail is a real-time strategy game featuring single-player online competitive play, split-screen replays, and more. Build a base, lead your army, eat your enemies, because every unit is an animal, like skunks and owls. And if you don't care about multiplayer that much like me, yes, you have the single-player story mode. Tooth and Tail has a massive 560 very positive reviews in these 2 or 3 weeks it's been out, and is available for Mac and Windows at $20. Game of the Month. The one and only Octavi Navarro, also known as Pixels, that we all love for his illustrations. You can read my feature of his work in Retronator magazine, of course, comes to us with a point-and-click adventure game called Midnight Scenes. It's actually a series. We're gonna see the first one right now. It's called The Highway, and it's a free game. It's quite short, and I really love the format because it's something that when you see the game, you just download it and play it, and you're done in like 15 minutes. It has this cool black and white vibe that's a lot like the Twilight Zone. It's this small little mystery with rich storytelling or atmosphere that we're used to from Octavi Navarro, and it's just the most wonderful thing. And he said that he's gonna make at least 2 more. It's going to be a trilogy, and then he's gonna see if he wants to do more in this series or do other stuff. Octavi Navarro has been making animations for Thimbleweed Park that I've mentioned earlier, and while he was doing that, he was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna make my own adventure game, and in 3 months he's put this thing together in Unity. And that's it for September's games. Let's move on to music. Perdu's debut album, or EP, just got released on the net label Cheap Beats, and we're gonna be listening to their album in some of the backgrounds. So this is the feature of the month. Perdu, Nouvelle Lune is the name of the album. It's a French duo with Maxime and Paul. I'm not gonna even try their surnames because... And yeah, you can get their album from Bandcamp for pay what you want price. Isn't that nice? And from Cheap Beats we go into random bits of news. Nintendo released their Super Nintendo Entertainment System Classic Edition, which is like a palm-sized version of SNES. It's real hardware and comes with 21 pre-installed games. You have your Contra, Donkey Kong Country, The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, Star Fox, and even an unreleased Star Fox 2 that is specially just in this console, and you have to actually play the first stage of Star Fox to unlock it. Nintendo previously already released a smaller version of their NES, which was super hard to find, so this time around they are having a little bit more stock available, but even so they're underestimating how much retro gamers really love old stuff that we grew up with, so they're kind of hard to find anyway. And it's only $80, which a lot of people say is worth it just for the games alone, and here you actually get hardware. So good job, Nintendo, for bringing old video games back to us and cool memories, childhood stuff.
Now you're playing with power. Superpower.
And while we're on the topic of hardware, the designer of ZX Spectrum Next has showed a final layout, or at least the latest one, of the keyboard. Look at this beauty of British design, and we can also see how the keyboard is laid out, with the directional keys actually matching what we're used to from PC keyboards, and other keys have been rearranged, like delete is now in the position where we're used to it. Similarly, break was moved to where we now have escape, all that good stuff. And I'm looking forward to seeing this device in my hands one day, maybe? I didn't have enough money to pre-order it, so I'm hoping that once I get rich and famous, there will be still some ZX Spectrum Next available, because I love ZX Spectrum and I am so sorry I could not back the machine up, and I'm not gonna get it for Christmas. I am super sad. That's the truth. Another piece of news that doesn't fit into other section is this music video created by Baby Duka. He made an Orwellian pixel art piece for the song in 1982 by the Danish and Finnish band Liima from the album that's also called 1982. The song's ambiental, dark synthwaves would feel at home in any dystopian cyberpunk movie or game such as The Last Night, and so does the music video that brings that familiar I live in a futuristic megacity yet I still feel alone feeling with it. It's a neat little piece, nothing flashy, but it matches the song perfectly, and just like the song isn't all sad and dark, the uplifting instrumental parts go into a bit more colorful 80s gaming waters. Good job, Baby Duka. We like music videos in pixel art. We're gonna close off Random Bits with a shout out to Penney Design. He makes fake let's plays of bad retro video game tie-ins that were clearly rushed, share very little of the storyline, and completely misunderstand the source material. In the case of Stranger Things, it's not even that bad if you ask me, just a bit in-genre frustrating. The pixel art looks great and my love for the TV show would easily blind me into playing the shit out of this back in 1988. Penney Design's other creations shine a truer light at shoddy licensed games. For example, you'll die plenty of times in Gravity. Also, why are there snakes? Rogue One becomes a resort tycoon instead of an action game. And for his latest work that came out in September, Penney Design ties into the rekindled It by Stephen King. Check him out on his YouTube channels, and even his descriptions are hilarious. For It, he said, a fictional video game of Stephen King's It, designed in 1990 as a tie-in to the miniseries by a teen who likely never saw it or even read the book. Marketed to children, It, the hide-and-seek adventure, was a glitchy mess, butchered King's material, and suffered from rushed development to meet a Christmas deadline. Hashtag IT movie. This is so fantastic. Thank you for making this, and hopefully make a lot more in the future. And now, for a special feature this month, we're gonna look at Pixel Art Comics. Pixel Art Comics. Pixel Art. We're gonna start off with Diesel Sweeties. That's been going since pretty much forever. Actually, no, it's been going on since 2000, and it's done by Richard Stevens III, also known as R. Stevens. And it's a comic in 4 panels, which is pretty funny and has cats and stormtroopers and stuff. I also wanted to mention Rich Stevens because he's also posting comics about Apple stuff on the page iMore. For example, you can see his take on the Apple Watch. Or how about deciding between the iPhone 8 and the X? Anyway, check out R. Stevens for cats and more cats, and of course his comics. Next up we have Hero on Hero by Neoris is Good, also known as Guido Boss. He's actually the artist who came up with the Frogato guy. Yeah, that's a pretty cool video game that is now developed by another team. Anyway, Guido has been working hard on his comic called Hero on Hero that started in a fantasy setting with a lot of characters and dialogue, but has been actually going for a long time. We are almost at episode 1000. The latest one is 982 and focuses on Toby, and it's pretty much in the future by now. A new page of Hero on Hero comes out every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, and you can support Guido on his Patreon page. The problem with all these comics that have been going since forever is that it's kind of overwhelming to get started. So how about a comic that just started coming out? It's called NoExp, and it's all about the fourth wall adventure RPG stuff. It happens in the world of Questria, and it has really cool pixel art and pays homage to a lot of video games. The artist Pixel Art is also on Patreon, so check out his comic and give him some support. The last comic we're going to feature is not actually pixel art comic, but I could not mention it. It's called BASICcomic, and it features a robot that's actually programmed with the ZX81 chip or computer and prints out all these basic computer language commands. It's so cool and has been going on for quite some time now. And look, there's even pixel art parts, very few of them, but it kinda has the ZX Spectrum color clash and all that stuff. If you love Sinclair and ZX Spectrum or ZX81 and Basic, anything like that, this is a comic for you. I love it so much. And that's it for the comics. I hope you like the special feature. It's kind of like something that I might do a little bit different every time. Let me know in the comments or at Retronator and all that stuff. And yeah, and now let's go into pixel art. As always, we're gonna start on Pixel Joint, where in September we receive the previous month's top pixel works. So we're looking at August 2017 top 10 pixel artworks. We have Abandoned Temple by Shroom31, Snake Eater by 2D Forever, Cthulhu by CNGMO. I absolutely love this one. It's Mateys, Welcome to Pixel Art by Fleya 2003, Pixel Carrier by Tomic. Look at these gorgeous colors of the sky. Yes I Do is back with artwork from their game Bunker. This artwork is titled Incident. Tiramisu shows a very fluid animation called Plague Rat. In third place, another artwork from the game Bunker. This one is so big and awesome I have to scroll down. Of course by Yes I Do. In second place, New Tristram Mockup by Brulov. And on top of August's pixel art on Pixel Joint, it's Fugl with his work Bullshit Shrine Thing. He's so modest. This is the amazing thing that blows your mind away. Today I wanted to show you another cool place where you can get pixel arts. And it's the TIG Source, which used to be one of the most popular blogs about indie games. It's been not really updated in a while. However, there's the forums, which we're gonna dive into right here. And in the art section, you will find a thread called Show Us Some of Your Pixel Works. It only has 1612 pages. TIG Forums is mostly a game development forum, so these are a lot of these works are going to come from pixel art games. But as you know, pixel artists always like to just do fun stuff as well, for the sake of it. A lot of people that you see here I've already mentioned previously on Patreon, so for example Namatnieks or Becca Bear. Here's some artwork from Carrion that we've talked about on DeviantArt. More cool creatures by Amatnieks, also known as Namatnieks. He has many names, that one. Some of those MPA works by H. Mental. And yeah, it's a pretty liberal, welcoming place. So feel free to join in and look at all the cool pixel artworks and stuff that people are creating for you to enjoy. Ooh, look at this smooth animation. Very, very inspirational if you ask me. And sometimes we even get jokes with Garfield cats that eat lasagna. So yeah, this is forums.tigsource.com, a really cool place for the pixel arts. And now it's time for my favorite do-it-yourself section, because I want everyone to make pixel art. Oh, but what am I doing on Steam? We've already talked about games that came out. Well, I didn't mention one game last time. It actually came out on August 31st, so I didn't include it this time, but I'm gonna mention it here. It's called Bannerman, and it's an atmospheric medieval action-adventure with a focus on historically accurate combat and challenging skill-based sword fighting. It has mostly positive reviews. It's been out for a month. And why I wanted to mention it now is because in today's DIY section we're going to talk about dithering. And it turns out that the developer of Bannerman actually made a pretty cool video about it. So yeah, he talks about why we use dithering, how to use it, gives examples from video games. It's kind of pretty cool. Hey look, you can make orange out of red and yellow. So start off with this video on the topic, and next up you can check out one of my own videos actually. I made a video about this technique called HD index painting. In it I explain how I did my artwork called Illustrator with this technique that allows you to use the stylus and pressure sensitivity to just kind of paint dithering. I learned this technique from Dan Fessler, who actually showed us on Twitter a couple of other techniques he uses for making dithered patterns with using just brush strokes. For example, you could set the dithered pattern as the texture on the brush, and you can control it with your pen pressure as well. And his technique is called HD index painting because it's kind of an emulation of how old software used index painting, where you would create a palette for your artwork and it could make dithering for you. And the closest you can get to a tool like that today is ProMotion NG, which is designed similar to the famous Amiga Deluxe Paint or D-Paint. It's ideal for artists working on detailed and pixel-precise graphics as required for mobile games and portable game consoles. It just so happens that ProMotion NG came out on Steam only a week ago, and you can see here it's used by all these different professional companies. Unfortunately, it's only available for Windows, so I actually don't have first-hand experience with it. It costs $40, and right now it's 30% off at $28. So now we have two really cool pixel art tools available on Steam, one being the AC Prite, which is cross-platform, and now ProMotion NG, which a lot of professionals use and swear by. It has all these features you would expect from tile maps and dithering and index painting, as we mentioned, and more and more and more. So definitely, if you are into this kind of stuff, check out ProMotion NG. Oh my goodness, it's already started to get bright outside. Holy shit. That's what you get if you record all night and it's 7 AM by now. So we're almost at the end of the show. We always close out do-it-yourself with some ideas what you might want to work on. And since this is the last of September, do you know what day is tomorrow? It's October. And in October we get Octobit. Just like all the cool kids on Instagram have Inktober, where they're using those little inked stuff, Bruno Moraes came up with Octobit. So let's do pixel art every day for the month of October. And this month he's actually made two sets of themes, cute and not cute. So for example, you could make a good witch or a bad bitch. So bad words, Bruno. Or how about a nap? And if you don't like a nap, maybe you like insomnia. So here's a cool set of themes for the month of October. See if you can do pixel art every day. That's a cool challenge. It's only 31 days. It's not impossible. And with that, this show is over. It's bright outside. Also, let me know, some people have mentioned that I speak a little bit fast, so I slowed it down a little bit for this video. Let me know in the comments, which one do you like more, previous fast or normal-ish now? Also remember, you can support this show on Patreon, and if you like the video, definitely thumbs up and sharing helps a lot. Thank you very much for being in the Pixel Art video show, Retronator News and Pixel Art. I will see you in 1 month.